So we now get to the business end of the qualifying heat stages here for the second round of the 2019 Rotax Max Euro Trophy season being held here at Kristianstad Karting Club. And we have our last of three qualifying heats. It's one apiece between Ollie Pilker and defending champion Mike van Vugt. But your lineup for race, or qualifying heat number 3, groups A and C, which will be in duration 7 minutes plus an additional lap, are as follows. Ollie Pilker and Sweden's Vilgot Edqvist will line up on the front row. Along and just behind them will be the 206 of GKS Levens Power's very own Jules Castro from Belgium. Then it's Mike van Vugt from JD Racing in the 217 alongside the Belgian on the second row. Marcel Surmach from Poland and Georgia's Alexander Abskava in the relevant numbers 236 and 212 alongside each other on row 3. Charlie Wirtz will this time have Daniel Ginchard from the United Kingdom alongside for company. Miro Halika and Lukas Schoenmakers round out the top 10 ahead of Oskari Soka, Morris Schuring, Eliska Babikova, Bart de Wit, Victor Oberjanek, and let's hope that we have Ethan Kurtzy out this time. He was a DNS in the first heat. So Pilker and Edqvist will have to control the pace here in the final qualification heat. And based on those results, we will find out who will be where on the grids. There's been a change with Senior Max. All 36 competitors will not have to worry about a second chance heat at all because we are having a truncated timetable. So Senior Max warm-up 29 to 54 in terms of positions has been cancelled, as has the second chance heat. So we'll have a bit more of a lull between proceedings. But here we go. Last Junior Max qualifying heat, number 3 of 3. Here we go. Lights out. Off we go into turn 1. Great work from Castro to go up the inside of Vilgot Edqvist through the apex of turn number 3. Turn 1. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Someone's gone a bit wide there. Could have been Surmach maybe. Not too sure, but it looks like it's been a full start declared. But the timer is not. I've just had a look at the timing gantry, and we have gone back to 0. So I'm not too sure what's happened there. It might have just been that we have a full start. Ethan Coetzee, as well, is not competing in this race. It's a real shame for the young South African, who's also been racing alongside countryman Leighton Fourie, who managed to get up to 8th before any post-race penalties were applied. So I've got the timers back now, so that's good. 6 minutes and 6 seconds. It is not a full start. Ollie Pilker streaking away into the distance ahead of Vilgot Edqvist. Mike van Vugt already got his way past Jules Castro for 3rd position. But Charlie Wirtz is in the mix right now as well. Let's see if he can put one up the inside of the Belgian. It's probably not going to be through turn 3. Yes, it is. He gets a proper bit of traction there, does Charlie Wirtz in the 251. Takes 4th position nice and cleanly there from Jules Castro, who now has Oskari Soka from Finland breathing down the exhaust pipes on the back of that GKS Levens Power kart. Can I also call driver 561? 561 to the stewards immediately, please. DD2 Masters driver, thank you. So it's going to be a case of what's going to happen between Edqvist and Van Vugt in the battle for second. But I'm going to be honest here. I kind of fancy a bit of seeing what Charlie Wirtz is going to do, because he is now in 4th position. He's now got a bit more pace under him. He had a bit of a disaster in the first heat a little bit earlier on. As Castro's going to try and go up the inside of Oskari Soka. The Belgian makes the move, but instantly through the apex, Soka takes it back in his own way as Edqvist now gets overtaken by Van Vugt, but then retakes the 2nd place position back through turn 4. Van Vugt on the offensive going into turn 5. Oh, that was very close. And now Charlie Wirtz. Now something just dropped off the back of Vilgot Edqvist's kart. Now I can't see what that is. It might be a sticker of some description. But here comes Charlie Wirtz from Austria. He's also competing in this year's CIK FIA Academy Trophy, representing his country, Austria, of course. He is a dual national. But Charlie's now right on the back bumper of Vilgot Edqvist. So it's Austria versus Sweden right now. This is going to be an absolute great battle between the pair. But it just is a case of what is Charlie Wirtz going to bring to the party here alongside Vilgot Edqvist. But I have to say that business as usual, Mike van Vugt, is it? It clearly is, because he is hunting down our current race leader, who's also got a race win under his belt today, and that is Ollie Pilker from Dan Holland Racing. So Van Voost closed the gap to just over 0.4 of a second. He is with the Polish driver right now, going into the main infield part of the section here. And he's gone for it. Van Voost gone for the lead. He's got the lead. Pilker on the switchback. He's going to go side by side with the Dutch driver. Oh, Van Voost neatly gets it in, but Pilker goes up the inside. Now it's Van Voost back in the lead. Oh, this is allowing Vilgot Edquist back into the mix. This is fantastic driving from the two leaders. But on roundabout sort of turn 14, Van Voost now hits the front. And Pilker's got to watch himself because he'll cut his Vilgot Edquist for close company. 3 minutes and 15 plus an additional lap. So Van Voost, Pilker, Edquist, Wurz. We've also got, well, it looks like Maurice Schuring has found his way up through the field. He started 12th, he's got past Jules Castro for 5th place. Marcel Sermach, Lukas Schoenmakers, Daniel Ginchard and Alexander Abskava complete the top 10. But Charlie Wurz is not just going to settle for 4th, as Van Voost is no longer in the lead. What happened there? He's got up the inside of Pilker. Wurz is trying to go with the Dutch driver into the final sector of the track. This is a real spirited performance from the youngster. And I have to say that Van Voost really is not having this race his own way. He got mugged by both Edquist, who now leads, then he got mugged by Pilker, but then Charlie Wurz is sort of like saying, "Hi, Mike." There's one more added into this equation, and it is the 2:51 of VDPR's Charlie Wurz from Austria. I'll tell you what, he is keeping pace. He's trying to keep pace with Van Voost, and I'm just having a look at the last lap times. Well, would you believe this? Mike Van Voost, as a result of that last lap, did a 57.426. He lost the lead, and went down to 3rd position, but managed to get back up into 2nd. He was 0.8 of a second slower than Charlie Wurz, who has got Ollie Pilker right behind him. The Polish driver goes up the inside of the Austrian. Is he going to make the move stick? Wurz is going to try and counter-attack, but drops about a car length behind. But we have a penalty issued. The 2:36 of Marcel Sermach has just received a 5-second time penalty for avoidable contact there. So he is currently sitting in 5th position. And that's going to drop him to about 11th position by my count. And you know what's really, really interesting here? I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen at the front of the field because, well, Charlie Wurz has still kept in touch with Ollie Pilker as best he can. Oskari Soka, unfortunately, has retired. So that would have involved the 2:36 of Marcel Sermach. So Soka was running in the very highest, the top 5. So that's a real shame for the Finnish driver. But Jules Castro is now coming under pressure from Sermach, who will get a time penalty, who will be demoted. So we'll just see what happens there. It's not Daniel Ginchard, my apologies, it's Jules Castro. But Ollie Pilker is still ahead of Charlie Wurz. Wurz is in 4th. In 5th position, and who is starting to close now is JJ Racing's Maurice Schuring, one of Van Voost's teammates. But Van Voost is trying to close the gap. He's just set the fastest lap last time around. This time around, he goes even quicker by almost 2/10. The Flying Dutchman's just done a 55.167. That is the fastest lap of this race, and he closed the gap to just under 6/10 from Vilgot Edquist. But this is going to give him the sort of advantage, if you will, heading into finals day tomorrow. Because based on their point scores throughout the 2 of 3 qualifying heats that each driver contests in, that will put them up as far as the grid as possible. So this is the penultimate lap of the race, and I tell you what, Mike Van Voost is looking a little bit closer to Vilgot Edquist, but Pilker trying to catch them. He's not going to do it by the end of the last lap. But let's see what Van Voost can do, because we know what he's like. When he gets a bee in his bonnet, he will charge at anybody that is in front of him and will stand in his way for victory. Gap now was 0.58, it's now 0.35. Van Voost just did a, whoa, not just him and Ollie Pilker just went sub 55. 54.982 from Van Voost. 45.905. 54, sorry. 54.905 for Van Voost. 54.982 for Ollie Pilker. And Van Voost is there or thereabouts. He's got a handful of corners. Is he going to steal one from Vilgot Edquist on the Swedes' home soil? We're about to find out. But Edquist Can he hang on? It's nip and tuck. We've just got around 3 corners to go. Make that 2. Vilgot Edquist from Strawberry Racing really has to watch Mike Van Vugt as the 217 comes out of the final corner. Could it be a drag race? Is it going to be a win for a Swede on Swedish home soil? Yes, it is! Vilgot Edquist takes one this weekend ahead of Mike Van Vugt. So 3 different qualification heats, 3 different winners, and well done. Vilgot Edquist on home soil here at Kristianstad takes a win by 0.186 seconds from the defending champion in this category, Mike Van Vugt. Ollie Pilker finished a further 6.5 tenths behind in third. Charlie Wirtz unfortunately would miss out for 4th position as Morris Schuring seemed to have a bit more pace than the Austrian, but still credible. Charlie Wirtz finishes in 5th. Could I also call driver number 402 to the stewards? Driver 402 to the stewards immediately, please. Jules Castro rounds out the top 6 ahead of Lucas Schoenmakers. Daniel Ginchard, Marcel Sermach, who has a 5-second time penalty. So that should be instigated very shortly. That will put him in around about 12th or 13th position. Victor Obajanik will inherit 9th ahead of Alexander Abskava, I believe. Bart de Wit will finish in 12th position ahead of Miro Halika. Eliska Babikova, Oskari Soka not finishing the race. And unfortunately, South Africa's very own Ethan Coetzee not even starting.